If you don't stop this cover-up, who will? Send them a message. Let them know that your verdict will travel far outside these walls. Ladies and gentlemen, remember these words. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
One of the best actors of his generation, actor Courtney B. Vance, has starred on stage and screen in roles like Johnny Cochran in The People vs. O.J. Simpson and so many more. Now he's opening up about his personal experience with grief and trauma. In The Invisible Ache, Black men identifying their pain and reclaiming their power, Vance writes about his own mental health and losing his dad and godson to suicide. Co-written by psychologist Robin L. Smith, the book aims to offer practical tools to help Black boys and men. The authors join us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in.
It's good to be here.
Courtney, I want to start with you. You opened up about some very personal times in your life, which is about your father and your godson's death. What helped you get through those times?
Well, my family, my mother challenged us, my sister and I, to, when we come back to our cities, our respective cities, to find some therapy, find a therapist. And who knows, how do you do that? That was the question for both of us. And it's, it's a question for everyone. It's very difficult, but what pulled me through it and pushed me through it was that I know I needed to. It was time. I'd gone as far as I could go and succeeding and achieving.
On
now
your
it's
own.
time to recover.
But I want to pick up what Nate was saying, because you're 30 years old, you get the call from your mother that nobody wants to get. Your family's sort of stunned that your dad has taken his own life because he was always a strong one. He was always, hardworking. You said you loved your dad, but you hardly knew him.
Yeah.
And so how did you process all that, Courtney? At 30 years old, you were a grown-up then.
Yeah, I was. But I, when you go back home, you still feel like a little boy or a
Yes.
little girl.
Right.
You said you felt like a little boy dealing with big man stuff.
Yeah, and thank God, as I said, thank God for family, my sister and I, and thank God our mother encouraged us to go back, and all three of us to find therapy. So, and the journey of finding someone, when I finally shook her hand, Dr. Margaret
therapist.
Kornfeld, yes.
Dr. K, you called
Dr.
her. Yeah.
K, I knew right away that I was home, and I was talking a mile a minute.
Yeah.
But the journey to that, I was sitting with an African-American therapist, and for an hour, 50 minutes, we just sat there and looking at each other.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, "What are you gonna?
Help me.
Help me.
Help me."
She just kept looking at me.
But Robin, number one, I love how the book is written. Both of you are writing chapters.
Yep.
You say there's another pandemic in the Black community. It's called mental health. Silence isn't golden, you say, Robin. It's deadly.
Absolutely. What we find, Gayle and Nate, and what The Invisible Ache really focuses on is that Black men and boys are swallowing their pain. They're leaving their vulnerability, which is their superpower, and their entitlement to be whole. Because they're taught that if you are strong, you never let someone see you sweat. Well,
You're taught man up.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that's good maybe for a deodorant commercial, but it does not work for the soul.
Yeah.
The soul needs to sweat, and tears are our teacher. And so there's a proverb that we use in the book that says the lion's story will never be known as long as the hunter is the one to tell it. And so what we're doing is we're taking the teeth from the hunter and making sure that the lions begin to tell and narrate and reclaim their own story.
Yeah, for so long, young Black boys and men are complimented for carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders and doing it quietly, not knowing that it might be too heavy for them at times. I want to get both of your opinions on something. We actually talked about this on the show. A young man from USC lost a football game, the starting quarterback, Caleb Williams, and will be maybe the top pick in the NFL draft. After the game, he runs to his mother, cries in her arms.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
I watched you.
Yeah, well, thank you for watching.
I saw
and it was the topic of conversation. And you talk about how Black men should cry.
Yeah.
Cry often.
Cry till you
loud,
can cry no
Cry
more.
ugly. Cry till there's no tears left.
Yeah.
Why do you believe it's important? And what did you think about that moment?
I rejoiced. I rejoiced because as a Black man and a Black boy, so much of our humanity and their humanity has been chipped away. If you were told that you were only 3/4 human, when did you discover that actually you were whole? And whole means that you have holes, H-O-L-E-S.
Right.
You long to be whole, W-H-O-L-E, which is to have all of your feelings, which is a holy journey, H-O-L-Y. And so this to me is saying, I don't have to shave off part of me to be in the game. I actually have all of me on the field and off the field, which is more powerful to see than a man who is afraid of his heart.
I want to go to you, Courtney, because you write very powerfully about you woke up, you were having bad dreams, you and Angela Bassett, your lovely wife, who's knockout powerhouse, and you hear the doctor and Angela saying breakdown, psychiatrist, hospital. You hear those words, and you think what to yourself?
I'm all of a failure of a husband and a man, and I've been fighting my faith for our entire marriage and the first 3 years of our marriage, and I've tried to do things my way, and to try to get her to do what I think that we should be doing. And
But you say therapy is your first safe harbor. I think that's very important.
yeah, it taught me. It began to teach me that one of the things that Dr. K gave to me was that, Courtney, do you have the patience to let the mud settle in the water and the water become clear? Do you have the patience? I said no at the time, but she was preparing me for the next phase of my life, which was Angela and then the twins.
Yeah.
Because you know, in a marriage, you got to have some patience.
No doubt, no
And
doubt.
you said when the storm comes, ask the question, what are you going to do about it?
What you gonna do?
This is a very, very, very
It's
powerful
really
book.
good. And I'll leave everybody with this, something else I took away. Self-care is non-negotiable.
It is non-negotiable. We can't make it
That's right.
through the journey without caring for the
Courtney B.
self.
Vance, Robin L. Smith, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Invisible Ache is on sale now, and if you or a loved one is in emotional distress, call or text the Suicide in Crisis Lifeline at 988. Again, that's 988.